I'm really feeling pretty good this morning. I can literally hear the walls of exclusion cracking. The sounds vary, but the one that we all got to hear so prominently a few weeks ago sounded like this. I'm a 34-year-old NBA center. I'm black and I'm gay. Jason Collins told the world he was gay and received overwhelming public support. His fellow colleagues from all teams in the league supported him, celebrated him, and opened the door wider for professional sports, basketball and hockey in particular, to further pursue collaborative work with gay rights organizations. Brittany Griner, fully acknowledged as the world's best female basketball player, came out right after Jason Collins. Robbie Rogers, a British soccer player, announced he was gay. He said he could not imagine that he could be himself on and off the field unless he came out. And he just signed a contract with the Los Angeles Galaxy, the major soccer league team. He states he's ready to be a role model. Imagine that. Gay soccer player, I'm ready to be a role model. Are you ready for that? And then there's Fallon Fox, who just came out as the first openly transgender fighter in mixed martial arts. The only controversy around her seems to be that she likes to paint her toenails purple before each fight. I'm feeling really good this morning. No longer must gay youth endure overt discrimination from the Boy Scouts of America. All boys are welcome now. The trouble is that when they become adults, they're barred from scouting unless they no longer wish to be themselves. I wonder if the Scouts have ever thought through the logic of this rule. But soon, mark my words, those exclusionary walls will crumble. In 1998, the year we finished remodeling this chapel, I don't think anyone worshiping in this space at that time could have imagined the progression of events leading to where we are today. Don't ask, don't tell was still the military policy. Salt Lake City did not have any ordinance that made it a law forbidding landlords and employers to deny housing or a job because of sexual orientation or gender identity. Teachers in Utah were routinely fired for being gay. The Gay-Straight Alliance at East High School was forced to close. In 1998, it was inconceivable to believe that by 2013, 12 states and the District of Columbia would have legalized same-sex marriage, let alone 13 countries, including Uruguay. It's hard to believe that the United States trails Uruguay in human rights. The first crack in the wall of exclusion in this country was heard in California in 1999. Governor Gray Davis signed a domestic partnership bill into law that provided limited rights for same-sex couples. Not to be outdone, the ever-so-humble governor of Vermont, Howard Dean, signed a civil union bill in the year 2000. That was also the year that Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands signed into law the first same-sex marriage bill in the world. 3 years later, King Albert II of Belgium signed a same-sex marriage bill, allowing Belgium to become the second nation in the world to do so. Now, why royalty is so attracted to same-sex marriage, I don't have a clue. But maybe it's time for this country to get a monarchy and kind of lead us forward. But in 2003, 10 years ago, the state Supreme Court in Massachusetts ordered legislation to permit marriage to same-sex couples. When we worshiped in this chapel in 1998, we could not conceive of a gay pride parade in Utah, which would one day evolve into the biggest parade in the state. There were fits and starts and hopes and prayers for a pride parade here beginning, first one, 1978. But they all fizzled and had no traction. In the year 2000, however, with the theme, A New Era of Pride, and with Representative Jackie Biscusby serving as Grand Marshal, the Pride Parade assumed new energy, new life, and now includes several hundred Mormons marching in support of cracking the walls of exclusion. I'm feeling really good this morning. When Mark Takano from the Bronx ran for Congress back in the 1990s, he was smeared as a homosexual liberal. I don't know which offense was supposed to be the worst, but by linking the two together, Takano did not have a prayer. He won his seat in the last election by 20 points. Now there are 6 openly gay or bisexual members of the 113th Congress. The Senate has its first lesbian, Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin. No longer in the shadows of shame, these lawmakers stood openly with their partners and their adopted children to hear President Obama's inaugural address in which he insisted upon equality for our gay brothers and sisters. In 1998, how could anyone have imagined this presidential blessing? 1998. That was the year Matthew Shepard was tortured and killed in Laramie, Wyoming. And yet I deeply feel his death proved a turning point. A time, somehow, some way, when some of our most biased Americans began to re-examine the consequences of their intolerance. And with the Laramie story and the Laramie Project, the walls of exclusion began to crack, or at least to tremble, with the rumblings of a new era about to dawn. Religion remains the last frontier. Some churches are still trying, unsuccessfully, to keep the walls of exclusion from buckling. Bent on preserving the ancient homophobic tradition, with a few sentences from Paul and a discarded Old Testament law code, the religious fixed certainties about homosexuality have lost their power and relevance. The cruelty and hatred they carry can no longer be reconciled with the teachings of Jesus' love and inclusivity. In the coming weeks, this will all come to a head for the United Methodist Church. Although that denomination's motto, open minds, open hearts, open doors, is a nice one, but somehow the church hierarchy stands in contradiction of their well-intended slogan. Let me tell you what happened. A Methodist minister recently officiated the wedding of his gay son. It was condemned as a public display of ecclesiastical disobedience. The minister faces a canonical trial for his actions. But the Methodists apparently have not learned the sage advice to pick your battles carefully. The accused minister is the retired dean of Yale Divinity School and a leading scholar in the field of theological ethics. The Reverend Dr. Thomas Ogletree stated, "Sometimes, when what is officially the law is wrong, you try to get the law changed. But if you can't get the law changed, you break it. Even Jesus of Nazareth broke the law. He drove the money changers out of the temple." Although perhaps I personally wish it was perhaps the dean of Harvard Divinity School who would be taking on the court scene there, Yale runs a close second. Dr. Ogletree, a man of great oratory skill from Birmingham, Alabama, feels he has an advantage in this case against his accusers. He said, "I have read the scriptures very carefully. Context matters." It is in the context of today's more accepting world that I'm feeling really good this morning. It's been said that a mind once stretched by a new idea can never return to its former shape. There is a great deal of evidence before us that many minds have been stretched by those who have boldly come out to lead authentic lives. In the sports world, 27 pro athletes have come out following the announcement of a 7-foot, 275-pound black professional basketball player. They have all come out to a gracious acceptance of who they are by their teammates. But I still have fun imagining, and maybe you can join me, just imagine what it would be like Orrin Hatch trying to explain to Jason Collins why he supported Proposition 8. I just have fun trying to see it. It's a different and unrecognizable world today from a mere 15 years ago. In sports, in politics, in law, and in spirit, the walls of exclusion keep crumbling. And soon, religion, too, will cease to be a factor in separating humanity by those who ostensibly please God and those who don't. Every person will someday be free to love whom they wish to love. And by virtue of being loving human beings, God will be pleased. It's a great day for a parade. Each step we take reflects the steps we have already achieved to moving closer to full equality. We still need to march, for we have not yet arrived where we need to be. But soon, I can feel it. We'll be marching in pure celebration as every human being in this country stands on equal footing under the law, both secular and ecclesiastical. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I hope you are too. What a great day for a parade. We're going to meet 3rd East, 3rd South. Look for the Unitarian banner. See you then.